Hello, everyone. My name is Rhea Allen, also known as Attorney Southern Belle, Louisiana's favorite trademark attorney. I will be teaching at this session. My masterclass is going to be called Set Apart, using all of your gifts to hit 5,000. So at this conference, this wonderful conference, Trademark that Thursday, you're going to learn industry insights. You're going to have an opportunity to network. You're going to have the opportunity to get CLE credits, and we're going to have sponsorship opportunities and one-on-one meetings with different workshop leaders. So the date of this event is going to be April 29th through April 30th. Each day starts at 8 a.m. My session begins at 1 p.m. So I'm going to teach you all how to leverage your business acumen by using all of your God-given talents. Perhaps you like to write. Maybe you like to speak. Maybe you like to be involved with your community. Maybe you like to assist small businesses with their business plans and things of that nature. All of that goes into intellectual property and business law practice. So you're going to learn how to leverage all of your gifts to make it work for you so that you can set yourself apart in the practice. All right. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am Rhea Allen, also known as Attorney Southern Belle, and I'm going to be talking to you all about how to use all of your gifts to leverage your business acumen and to hit $5,000 or more. So let's get right to it. If you have any questions or comments, you can put that in the chat. So, how do you set yourself apart in the industry of practicing law? Well, the first thing that you need to do is you need to sit down and identify your gifts and your interests, because a lot of that, your gifts and your interests, can directly correlate to your clients, and having morale with your clients, having connection with your clients. Okay, so some of the things you might want to think about is, what are your God-given talents and interests? It may be public speaking, it may be writing, it may be dancing. You may have musical talents. You may like to debate. Um, just a variety of things. What are those gifts? What are the things that make you happy? Because there's a true statement that your gifts will make room for you. But if you don't put those gifts to work, you will lose them. And sometimes, as practitioners, we get into the practice of practicing law that we forget about our gifts, but we can intertwine those gifts and make them work for us in our practice and for our clients. So, what's your story? What makes you unique? Can you sympathize and empathize with your client database? Um, do you have similarities with your clients? For example, you may have a client that may be a domestic abuse client. For me, I used to do family law, and I had domestic abuse victims all the time. Well, I was a victim myself, so I was able to identify with those individuals and actually empathize and sympathize with them, and that also increased my credibility within the market, which leads to what? Word of mouth, advertisement, that people just come to you and they're drawn to you. How are you using your gifts in the practice of law? I can tell you guys right now that I'm using several of my gifts. The gift of persuasive argument through writing. I'm using that gift. The gift of organizational development, using that through the intellectual property realm with trademarking. So those are things that you want to think about when you're trying to set yourself apart in the industry. What area of law did you want to practice when you graduated from law school? I don't know if you guys heard me earlier today, but I wanted to practice intellectual property law in law school. I wanted to write briefs and motions and do appellate practice in law school. And, when I got out of law school, I wasn't really in that arena to do that. And so I had to sit here and take some steps myself to figure out, how could I use all of my talents at one time as a practitioner, or use them together to leverage and make myself more marketable and set myself apart from the other practitioners in my area. Because the market is saturated, so you got to do something to set yourself apart. Are you content? Like, are you happy in your area of practice, or do you want more, do you want to leverage your business acumen? You have to want it, and if you want it, you're going to go for it. So the next thing you have to do is you have to invest in yourself. All right, so self investment. It's something that's necessary in the practice of law. It costs to be the boss. So some of the things that I did that I want to impress upon you guys to do is I want you all to invest in some coaching, invest in courses and coaches in the industries that you're interested in. Maybe you might have an interest for bankruptcy. Well, you need to be trying to take CLEs, going to conferences to better network with others in that industry to gain mentorship. So one of the things that I did was I took Sonia Laconi's course, 2 weeks to trademark, and that was a game changer. I mean, it cost me a good bit to take it, but it was worth the investment for me so that I could learn my trade and what I wanted to do. Same thing, Ashley Kirkwood. I love to speak. I was a Toastmaster member as a high schooler in the 4-H program. And I knew that being an attorney, we're always talking, we're always communicating, we're always having to speak. And so I wanted to make that work for me as well in the industry. And so I took Ashley Kirkwood, who's also an IP attorney. I took her courses, Speak Your Way to Cash Live, and I also took her course, Get the Tea on Trademarks. So with that, that's how I kind of got into this realm. And so that's something that you want to do. Invest in these courses. I mean, it's it's a tax write-off, first of all, but also it's an investment in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, that's automatically going to transfer over to the investment of your business. So, mentorship. With coaching comes mentorship. There's nothing like having a good team of mentors to guide you through this profession. This profession can get very stressful. It could get weary for you. You can be over anxious and everything like that in this profession. So it's great to have good mentors who can keep you grounded and keep you focused and pour into you. And I can honestly say, without my mentors, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. Attend conferences and CLEs. One conference that you guys can attend for trademarks is the Alt Legal Connect conference. They have that every year. In fact, that was how I found out about Sonia. That was how I found out about Takora, and that was also how I found other friends in the practice where I'm still connected with them today. Like I could just pick up the phone and call one of my friends, John Jr. We were on the boss together, National Black Law Students Association, together on the national board. I could pick up the phone and call him. I can pick up the phone and call a friend named Glenessa. She is a trademark attorney as well. I can pick up the phone and call Lindsay Corbin just to drop some names out there for people who are in this industry. I connected with them by going to these conferences, even virtually, and they were able to pour into me. I'm able to pour into them. So that leads me to my next point: networking. That's important. Is is invaluable. Connect with your local bar association, join sections, start sections. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't know if there's an intellectual property law section in the Baton Rouge Bar Association, but I will be creating one. Um, Inspiration is going to come in all forms. Join these Facebook groups, get on these Instagrams, follow these people, look at their lives, everything, soak up all the information that you can soak up. Invest in yourself and involve yourself with your community and professional networks. You never know, you're just talking about what you're interested in and what you want to do. and what your practice is, in conversation with another practitioner, they were like, "Oh, I just had a client who called me about a trademark. So can I just give them your contact information?" Okay, well, yeah, sure. So there you go. There is a direct return on your investment right there by networking, and you getting another client base just by having a conversation with a local professional or even a random person. You know, your content out here that matters as well. Invest in someone who can help you with your content management systems. Invest in someone who can help you with website design. All of these things matter. And while it does cost, it costs to be the boss. So if you want to be the boss, you gotta invest in yourself. And you gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's one point. Stay ready so you do not have to get ready. That applies in all areas of life. I can't stress that enough. Then another thing that you want to do when you invest in yourself goes to my favorite phrase. I said this earlier today, was write the vision, make it plain, plan your work, and work your plan. Start goal setting. I mean, have the tenacity. I mean, have the crazy gumption to believe that you're going to succeed. Have the gumption to believe that, okay, my business can be $1 million business one day. Have that faith in yourself, and also extend yourself some grace in that as well. So you have to believe in yourself. There is power in manifestations. And I'm just going to repeat myself again. I cannot not sit up here and not tell y'all everything that I've wanted to do in my life. I have always written it down, and I can go back and trace whatever happened in my life to something that I wrote down, whether it was 5 years ago or whether it was 10 years ago. There is power in the tongue, and you guys need to know that you have that type of power as practitioners, especially minority practitioners. Sometimes we get down and discouraged because of our competition and our counterparts out there, but just believe me, your name is probably being mentioned in rooms that you don't even know about. Just yesterday, I had a friend who called me about a company that he became the VP of marketing for. He introduced me to his boss. His boss said, well, can you help me with my trademarks? And I said, okay, sure, I can. Here's my process. He wasted no time booking me to do his trademark. So do you guys? I hope you guys see where I'm going with this. Um, for a friend of mine in Colorado, I hadn't seen him in a year, but we've always been talking with each other about getting my accounting systems better, using QuickBooks and signing up with things like that. Well, turns out he's working for another company, and his company is going to be doing a lot of IP work and things like that, and they need someone to consult with. So guess whose name was mentioned in the room? My name. So I did that. That's the power of investing in yourself and being invested in yourself. So I want y'all to stay invested. So that's one way you can set yourself apart, because those who are not investing in themselves, they're not set apart. If you notice. Now, the next thing is your investment in yourself. That's going to lead to investment in your business and your brand. My um my brand is Attorney Southern Bell, and that brand came about when I first started working for a judge at the 19th Judicial District Court here in Baton Rouge. And so it came about because of my Southern twang. It is what it is. So I built off of that. When I walk into a courtroom, yes, my name is Rezelia Allen on the bar roll. But when I walk into the courtroom, they're like, "Oh, that's Attorney Southern Bell. That's the Southern Bell. The Southern Bell is here." So I've capitalized on my brand. You are your brand, so build it. And then we're in IP, we're in intellectual property. There's no reason that your brand should not be trademarked. So you guys need to think about that. If you're telling everybody else to trademark their brands, you need to be the first person to have yours trademarked. So they can be like, okay, she trademarked her brand. She must know what she's talking about. She has credibility here. You know, the clients, it's like on a temptation. I think David Ruffin said, uh, they coming to see me. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. They coming to see me. Okay, well, they coming to see you. So the clients are coming to see you. So you have to set yourself apart in this industry. It's challenging, but you can do it. You definitely can do it. The other thing that you have to consider doing, excuse me while I get my notes together, is mindset. You have to have the mindset to believe in yourself. You have to have the mindset to not have limiting beliefs. A lot of times we have those limiting beliefs, but you're only limiting yourself. There is no limit. Even the sky is not a limit. So you really have to change your mindset and change your way of thinking and believe in yourself that you can set yourself apart by using all of your gifts. So I want some of y'all, this is going to be a little interactive part for me. I want y'all to type in the chat, those who are on here, type in the chat some of your gifts, like your God given gifts. I want to see it. Connecting people, speaking, education and motivation, writing and sewing, intuition, leadership, visionary, and coaching, writing, speaking, creative words, the arts, napping, selling things, cook, organization, motivation, connecting with people, speaking and writing and speaking, and bringing people together with fabulous events, resourcefulness, process improvement, optimizing systems, speaking, persuading, and automating systems, connecting the dots that people don't see, making others look good. So look at that. Look at all these talents, building businesses from anything, helping people to optimize their own potential, relationship building, arts, organizing, resourceful, encouraging, and connecting. All right, so we got a good bit of organizational skills. Not organizational skills, but gifts, that God-given gifts that you can use in your organization and in your practice. So I want to talk about right now. Somebody said that they have creative writing, connecting the dots, and then I saw some other people that said creative writing, speaking and persuading, automating systems. So let's brainstorm a little bit on how you can use those gifts. So y'all might want to write this down because I'm gonna drop some gems for y'all. If you're good at writing, practicing intellectual property provides you the opportunity to write when you're doing responses to office actions or prosecuting an intellectual property infringement case. That's how you can use your writing in the intellectual property sphere. Speaking, deep conversations and having convos. Lawyers are natural communicators and natural entrepreneurs, like I said earlier. You can use your voice to speak on different topics at different conferences, and you can get paid for them. You can set your own prices with that. That you have the credibility already because you have a JD behind your name and you're a practicing attorney. There you go. That's how you can use your speaking in your practice. Now, somebody said relationship building and organizing, resourcefulness. Intellectual property, most times we're working with small businesses or organizations with their trademarks. Do you know that working with a small business or organization or an individual with their trademark is helping them brand their brand, number one, and it's helping them develop their organizations even further? So that's how you also can use that gift in the practice. Um, Somebody said they were building systems. If you're building systems and you're good at automating systems, why not build a program on automating systems for fellow lawyers. And why not do some consulting with fellow lawyers and charging a small fee to show them how to automate their systems and how to run different systems in their practice to make their practices easier for them. That's how you can use that in the practice. Relationship building. Relationship building and bringing people together. You can start doing your own master classes. Like this is a master class. And actually, Nina, she just inspired me to start doing my own master classes on some things. I have a blog called attorney7bell.com. That's where you guys can contact me, schedule a one-on-one meeting, whatever you want to do. That's fine. But I use that blog to be very candid about my life because I am an attorney, but I am human. And so I want the world to know, hey, she's a human, that she's go through things just like we do. And so that has been a way for me to really, really, um, really come down into the level of my clients, some of them, so they can see that, oh, this is a real person. She's not up here thinking she's greater than this and greater than thou. She's actually like us, so I'm going to trust her. So that is one way that you can definitely capitalize on um, using your gifts in the industry. These are all some good gifts, and I really hope that you guys are able to to basically get encouraged to use those and get creative, because you can't set yourself apart without being creative. And it may take you a while to think about how you're going to do this, but it all comes together and everything comes back full circle, honestly. So definitely good cooking and organization. If you're doing cooking, I think Miss Florent, she said she's doing cooking. Let me tell you, you can you can blow the world with that skill. Okay, everybody's looking for a caterer or a cook. I used to always say I wanted to be a lawyer by day and a cook by night, because I wanted to have a restaurant. Well, go ahead on and build you a restaurant. Build you a restaurant that you're doing cooking, doing your resumes, not resume recipes and things of that nature. And then after you do that, maybe have a part in your restaurant where you do some free legal consultations and things like that. That can make things work for you. Just throwing out some creative ideas out there for y'all. Now, building your business acumen. You have to build your business acumen to be able to set yourself apart. You got to know the business. You got to know your business, and you got to know what works for you. Most businesses fail because they do not have alignment in their planning processes and strategies. And then they would be coming to see someone like me to file a bankruptcy. I used to do bankruptcy when I first started practicing law. But yeah, no alignment and planning in their processes or strategies. And then the other reason why they fail is because not knowing how daily businesses decisions drive profitable growth and free cash flow. You have to know how that you have to know how your systems are working for you. So you need to talk to somebody who just said that they are good at optimizing systems, and so they can help you to make your systems work for you so that you don't find yourself in a position to having to close your business down or anything like that. Um, the four key topics of business acumen. One is financial literacy. The numbers don't lie. What's your input and what's your output? What are your sources of income? You got to have money to make money. Is it client based, or do your funds all come from clients? Are you putting in some of your personal funds? Do you have loans, grants, lines of credit? How are you sustaining your business? You have to know these things. The other thing is functional business savvy. You need to know what's the return on your investment. Are you getting a return on the money that you're investing in your business? Are you measuring those returns? What is the rate of your ROI? What is your ROI? What is it? How are you measuring it? Does your client base come from word of mouth? Does it come from Instagram boosting posts? Does it come from Facebook? You know, ads, whatever. You need to be able to measure your return of the investment. return of your investment on your investment, because if you don't know how to measure that, you're never going to know where you need to go to be able to grow. So you got to see the big picture of things too. See the end to the end. You have to have that type of mindset. Client satisfaction. What processes can you offer your clients? What are you offering to your clients? Are they satisfied? Are you doing surveys after you meet with clients, or after you complete the work for the client? Because sometimes evaluation from your clients, that could give you a leg up on what you need to do and what you need to change about your systems. Um, that goes to systems. Operations matter. It's really really um, a, a big thing to make sure that your processes and systems are there, and operations matter. Work smart, don't work harder. So that's why you need to have systems in place. I remember I was working myself so hard, y'all, and I wasn't charging what I was worth. I just started charging what I was worth. I was like the discount attorney, no lie. And it wasn't until like a colleague pulled me to the side on the elevator one day at court, and she was just like, "Look, you, I know you're not charging what you were. You need to start charging what you were." And then I was talking to Sonia on a call, and she was like, uh, I think she said, "Why would you charge? Why would you?" Somebody said, I don't know if it was Sonya or somebody else. It might have been another person, but it was like, "Why would you not charge for a comprehensive search?" I was out here doing comprehensive searches for free, but I started charging for comprehensive searches and trademark. You know, I charge because if you're not going to pay me to do the trademark application, you're going to at least pay me for my search, because that's my legal work. All right. So that's my work product. So you definitely have to go from it from there. Prices. Like I said, are you charging what you're worth for the work that you're doing and the time that you're putting in? You need to charge your work worth and add tax, because guess what? You have to pay tax. Uncle Sam is coming. So definitely evaluate those things. That's a part of having functional business savvy. You might need to get a coach in that as well, or an accountant that's going to be able to help you do all of this. General manager thinking and CEO mindset. All of us are CEOs. We have our own brands. We are out here doing the work. How does your business work overall? What can you change about it? What's your competition? What is the competition out there for you? In Louisiana, there is no other IP attorney that's like out here on the forefront that I know of besides myself. So what I did was I created my own lane, and nobody else is stepping into it. You got some people that are trying, and I applaud them. They can come ahead and try, and I don't mind working with them. But I am at the forefront, and I'm out here doing the work and branding myself as Louisiana's IP attorney. Market trends. Like I said before, are you in a lane by yourself or with others? If you I find that if you like niching, like we were saying earlier, if you really break down and see what your niches are, how they could work for you, which niches to me are gifts, then you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to streamline your processes and everything like that. And then growing and profitable business. And then you just need to know what's the tea out there. What is going on in these legal streets? What do clients need? What is a necessity? COVID happened, right? And everybody was starting their business. But everybody was thinking that LLCs was the way to go. And LLCs were, okay, if I got this name, I'm good. I'm good to go. And then everybody was thinking, well, I trademarked it with the state, so that means I'm good. Okay, it does. You're not good. You're not good at all. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. you know who is your target audience? You really have to really know that, and what's the tea out there. You got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? So who would have thought that COVID would have happened, and then there would be this influx of attorneys who are wanting to wade into this intellectual property realm, because most of the small businesses that are being um, formed and developed by minorities, and they need help. All right, so somebody asked, how do you juggle all of your gifts so you don't become overwhelmed? We have so many gifts sometimes. So, um, Like I said, so the practice of law, in a nutshell, in and of itself, and y'all tell me if y'all agree with this or not. I'm interested to know. I feel that the practice of law allows you to be multifaceted. I feel that in juggling all of your gifts, like there are different rooms in your practice, not necessarily in your practice and in your personal life, where you can make all your gifts work for you to generate profitable income. For example, I have a law firm, the Allen Law Firm LLC, but it does business as Attorney Southern Bell. So, Attorney Southern Bell does legal talks. Attorney Southern Bell bakes honey bun cakes. Attorney Southern Bell speaks on occasion on various podcasts. And Attorney Southern Bell is also a writer. Um, I look up to Ashley Kirkwood a lot because she's out here actually making all of those gifts work for her as well, and that really inspired me. So what she does is she's a speaker. She absolutely loves to speak, but she also loves to help businesses and organizations as well. But she's created a whole brand based off of something that she loves to do. So that's kind of how you kind of mesh it all together. She has her practice of law, but she also has, her passions kind of weaved within there. You also have to have an enterprise value mindset. Think big, crazy faith. I can't stress that enough. You have to have crazy faith in this business because there's a lot of competition out here and the market is just like so saturated, right? So it's only impossible until it happens. So it's only crazy until it happens. Strategy alignment with your systems and everything, you have to make sure you're aligning everything up so that it makes sense and that it works for you. The world is changing. We got digital age, everything is virtual. So you got to go with the times. Some people are old school, but old school is fine, but you got to get with the times. Sustainability and overall metrics. Is your business sustainable or will you have to pivot? That's an evaluation that you're going to have to make. Is your business sustainable the way it is, or do you need to make some adjustments and do you have to pivot? Because if you're not getting the value that you want from your business, then it's really of no moment. And if you're not getting a value out of it, guess what? That leads to burnout. And then that leads to you wanting to do something different, right? So that's why I'm saying identify your gifts because it's really true that if you're doing something that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. My papa has always taught me that. And so, in my personal life, I've had to pivot. In my professional life, I've had to pivot. So I had to assess everything. You have to also learn to assess your personal life with your professional life too. Um, I know it's probably not good to commingle both, but you still are a human being. So you still need to evaluate that to see, what can I do that's better? How can I be a better attorney for my clients? How can I be a better businesswoman or businessman? What is it that I need to do? What are my deep rooted passions? Think that's that's how I took the approach. So hitting 5K and then some. So identifying your talents and interests that leads to self-investment and the overall leverage of your business acumen. Period. Your gifts will make room for you spiritually and financially. And I want y'all to know mediocrity is not an option when you have talent. You can be multifaceted. In fact, I will have a book of poetry that will drop in a few months as an attorney. So that's how I'm also using a gift to make room for me. And multiple streams of incomes as necessary as an attorney. I mean, do you guys know how many firms out here, these firms, big law firms, they are making their gifts work for them because they have the big law firm. They may have an advertising company in another state. They may have a restaurant downtown. You just never know. So those are ways to make the gifts work for you. Now, I want to talk to y'all personally about me so I can continue to inspire because I know I'm almost out of time. So, for me, I was working at the 19th JDC as a staff attorney to a judge, very prominent judge, right? But she poured so much into me, like, and she really was an advocate of me using my gifts and capitalizing on my name and capitalizing on my brand, right? She was one of my hugest supporters. And you're not going to find a boss like that that's that often, right? So I was able to work in the courtroom, handle business. I basically ran her courtroom. She was the judge in name only, but I was the true judge behind all of those decisions that she was making. And so what I did was I, I, I attended conferences. Some conferences she paid for. I I searched out different opportunities. I applied for various grants and got grants and was able to attend different business courses to learn how to run my business. Um, I was doing speaking engagements, podcasting. Some of them were for free, some of them were paid gigs. And then one day I got the gumption to start doing intellectual property work, and that just soared. It just soared. So I made an investment in Sonia's course, and I don't know if y'all heard it earlier. Maybe you did. I made an investment in her course, and it changed my life. And I grossed over as a solo practitioner. I grossed $80,000 before expenses on my own, and so and that was my first year of practicing intellectual property law, getting into it, delving into it. I was also recognized as one of the top 40 young lawyers in the nation with the American Bar Association. And I was using all of my gifts. I'm also a professor at Southern University Law Center, which allows me to speak to my students and teach. So I really am using all of my gifts in different various ways, different arenas that all go back to law. And so recently, as of January 2022, I was able to secure a job with the largest personal injury firm in Louisiana as a brief writer. I'm a writer naturally. So I'm literally using all of my gifts to to make the financial goals that I want to make. So much so that I was able to buy my own house. So that is something that's a personal testimony of mine, and I'm really really big on coaching, really really big on taking courses, really really big on networking because you never know. And that's how I basically set myself apart. So I'm here for any questions, comments, or concerns. If Nina wants to come on the stage and ask me some questions and I'll answer them for y'all, I don't mind it for the next 20 minutes. And Shama, she said it's all in due season. It is. It is all in due season. It takes a lot of prayer. What questions would you recommend to ensure your client is satisfied? Oh gosh, that's a lot. Um, First of all, you need to ask them the obvious. Are they satisfied with your work? How likely are they to refer anyone to you to your firm? Is there anything that they would have changed about their experience? How has their experience been on a scale of 1 to 10? Would there be anything that they want to see differently? Or another question that I think would be um, beneficial is how um, how close of the connection did they feel like their case was the only case that they had, even though their case is not the only case that you have, right? But did they feel like they were your only client? Was the experience personal to them? And so that's those are some questions that you could ask to make sure your client is satisfied. And one way to test that they're satisfied is that they refer to you. You know, I have people call my cell phone all the time, my business phone all the time, and they're like, "Hey, I got a referral for you. I heard you do this and that." I even have attorneys calling my phone for different advice and ghostwriting gigs and things like that. And I was doing stuff for free, y'all. I'm not doing nothing for free. All right, I'll do some things for free, but for the most part, when you're talking about my skills and my talents, I am not doing a thing for free. Okay, if you want me to speak somewhere, there's a contract involved. If you want me to ghostwrite, there is a contract involved. If you want Attorney Southern Bell to make an appearance at your award show, and this is really not a benefit to the larger community or something, there is a fee involved. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I had to learn that. I really had to learn that. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I could not be here if it wasn't for some of my mentors, including my boss. I just couldn't, I would not be here today if it wasn't for them pouring into me. So get y'all some good mentors. I have a mentor right now. He was an opposing side on my case, one of my cases back in the day. And he called me every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. But you know, when I started working here at this firm, he took on the rest of my cases and he still gives me a little cut. So I'm still making it work for me. There are more than one way. There's more than one way to skin a cat, y'all.
Love it. So we got some questions. Do you have a survey strategy, i.e., how to get clients to give you reviews and especially video reviews?
Oh yeah. I would just I would just email the clients. You know, if you're using Clio, that's an easy system, or Dubsado, something like that. Those are easy systems to get massive emails out. But I would say at the close of the case, here's a fun fact. I used to work in organizational development and evaluation, and my master's degree is in that. And all I used to do was analyze surveys. So this is something that I like to talk about as well. Um, with those evaluations, I would say you could create an evaluation either like through SurveyMonkey or something like that. Some evaluation system. SurveyMonkey is like the best. Um, or Jot form maybe, something like that. Send that out to them once you close their case. Once you close their case, send it out to them, and then ask them if they're willing to do a video, and if they are, send a scheduling link to them. And or if they want to write a blurb and send their headshot, tell them to write a blurb about your services, send their headshot, and then you put it on your website. You know, you got to make sure that your services are working for the clients. Word of mouth is one way, because if they give you a referral, you already know that your services are working. But the other way is like when people see you on social media, Facebook, and all that good stuff. So yeah.
That was a good question. Yeah, you answered this one, so I'm gonna mark that one as answered. And I think there was another question. It was probably from me. Let me see if we have it up there. I think you answered all the ones from the people. Let me check right quick. Yep. We answered all of those. So let's get into the questions more so from the audience for registration to make sure that I cover some topics that I think that will be good for you. So you talked about basically not having equal opportunities or equal knowledge base or access to mentorship in your field, in your area. So what is it that people could do? Like what is it that you thought besides the course that you took with Miss Sonia, what is it that you think that would be a good solution to that problem now that you know it's a problem for you? It's like I literally need to be around people like this all the time. So what would be a good solution that you would recommend to, like, even your state, if you had to pitch them on what you needed, what would you need in your state? Because a lot of attorneys here probably have that same problem in their state too. So what would you pitch, Rosalia?
I would pitch, first of all, I would pitch to the local bar associations and to the state bar association, especially if the area of practice is not prevalent and there's no section. Talk to the president or the secretary to the president or something to say, hey, I'm seeing this issue in the legal community and I'm seeing this need. How can we work together and collaborate to make sure that other practitioners are able to get into this area? Because I've taken a lot of CLEs for intellectual property, but I never got CLE credit for it because Louisiana just they don't they don't it's not a thing. And so I guess for me, one of the ways that I'm able to kind of agitate and put this out there without, my own personal doing is I serve on my serve on committees with the bar association. So I'm able to actually talk about it and actually get other attorneys on board with trying to make some changes there. I hope I answered that question.
You did, ma'am, and I've also served in that same role, so I totally understand. I've personally crafted the legislation on the Alabama State Bar for the CLEs and literally get more involved. That's literally the answer I think that people needed to hear because I don't think people realize how close to a solution you are. You can literally join the committee of your bar and you can solve that problem. So if you lack mentorship or access to paid training, because a lot of you mentioned that you don't have good mentoring and equal opportunities, get on the bar, tell them that, and make them do their job. That's what they're supposed to do. Um, and a lot
Yeah,
of people, and a lot of people
that's
can't.
what you pay dues for.
Yeah, why are you paying them money? They got to do their job. They sleeping on their job. You don't have to sleep on yours. And then what about affordable? A lot of people talked about affordable access to the same information. So what would you recommend for affordable access? I mean, I know we're at a summit where there's some affordable access, but like, how can we standardize this? What could we do across the board to make this more affordable? Should we all start teaching CLEs? I think that would be like a interesting thing, but I really feel like if we all taught CLEs and we brought it to everybody's state, then we could just basically make it a free access thing and we could go on a CLE tour. I'm just saying.
So, um, I guess you was in my brain, Nina, because I was about to say the same thing. I know how to do the CLE courses here in Louisiana. It's nothing to go ahead on and get something done and put on a CLE at a conference or do it virtually in Louisiana and actually have the credit there. And then that would also then spark more interest in the state for people to get involved with IP because I could tell y'all the names. I can't tell you the names right, but I could count how many intellectual property attorneys that I know in Louisiana. Like I had my mock trial coach say, "Oh, I do IP a little bit, but I don't talk about it." Well, why are you not talking about it? That kind of thing like that. So that you kind of read my mind.
Look, we one band, one sound. I already told you we was gonna mesh together well. We just got this southern, we got this southern partnership. I just gonna put that out into the world and figure out how we could be southern together.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, where is it that you find like, because we're getting into this whole idea of mentorship, right? And you talked about two people you look up to. So I kind of want to give some preparation for the speaker that's coming. So mentorship, what should they be looking for in a mentor, like a Sonia or a Takora or a Dana or you, right? Because it could be you. You could be the person that people look up to. In fact, people were looking forward to your talk specifically on our questionnaire. So don't, it's there are people that are now looking up to you, whether you like it or not. And crazy enough, there were people looking up to me too. So don't be surprised that it could be you. What should they be looking for though? What would help them?
What would what would help with looking for a mentor?
Hmm.
Um, Number one, everybody's not meant to be a mentor. Let's throw that out there. Um, some people just don't have the capacity to do it. I think what you need to look for is someone with a capacity to teach, to coach. You also have to have a willingness to be coachable, teachable. I think it's good for you to look for someone who has a passion or the same passion that you have, and doesn't mind sharing the information with you. Because let me tell y'all something. A lot of times, people don't like to share their information. And that, but my thing is, it's enough for all of us to win. So why be bigoted like that? You know, that kind of thing. And I'll say one thing now. I have, okay, personally, this is a personal story. So like 4 years ago, I was an attorney. 4 years ago, I've been an attorney for 7 years. Of 7 year practice law. Seven is the number of completion, but I'm not done yet. So, um, 4 years ago, I found myself like in a divorce, a nasty divorce, right? And I had like $613 negative to my name across all accounts, including my business account. And I lived in a hotel for a month. And my mentor, who was assigned to me in law school, she took me under her wing. She had always been taking me under her wing with different cases and different um, things like that. But she took me under her wing in a different light, where she provided me with a place to stay, right? Because I had like a 497 credit score. Let me just be clear with y'all. 4 years ago, okay, I was drained. I was tapped out. Um, Stayed sick, everything like that. But I had a mentor who cared enough to be a light in my life and change my life, that now I'm able to pay it forward to someone else. I'm able to pay it forward to her. I'm able to do all of those things because of the mentors that I had placed. You have to have a mentor that has a heart of service. I just think that that's what a mentor should be, a servant leader. They have to have a knack for their craft, and they have to have a willingness to be open, honest, transparent, and share those things with you, to help you learn to better yourself. It's all about bettering the next person.
Awesome. And you got a question. I think we only have time for this one question before we get into your final wrap up. And how long did it take for you to shift into trademarks after taking Sonia's course? And what resources do you recommend having in place to be successful after doing that?
Oh, y'all. After I took Sonia's course, it probably took me about a month to actually get into the trademark, get into knowing how to do everything and learning. And what resources do you recommend having in place to be successful? Definitely, you need to have a client management system. You definitely need to have a trademark search system. Um, you might want to get you an intern, because that's what I also did, because I was not ready. I was not ready for the influx of people who were going to come ask me to help them with their trademarks. So get an intern, someone that you can teach and be coachable, and definitely have that client management system and have your pricings together. Have your price line together. If you have to adjust, just adjust. Don't be out here doing comprehensive searches for free like I was. That is your legal work, and you need to be compensated for it, because people will use you. They will take that comprehensive search and they will go to LegalZoom. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm just being honest here. They will use you. So you don't want to put yourself in the position to be used by these clients. And if they don't like your prices, guess what? Then you're not the attorney for them. The price is what is price. That's that. I hope I answered.
You absolutely did. And I really believe that, like, I'm going to repeat something that my mentor told me. And this is Dana Thomas Law. Dana Thomas Cook now because she's married. But basically, the price reflects the quality of the services. So, like, you can say whatever you want to say, but your price reflects what you are going to provide. And I don't provide piss poor services. So I know And I love it. Takora is already in here. So I'm gonna need y'all to warm her up. So Rizal, you know I told you we was gonna do this. So tell everybody about the people, because I'm not bringing Takora on this stage if we don't give her the excitement that she deserves. I promise y'all, I will keep her down off the stage until y'all show her the love that she deserves, because she literally stepped up and did this. So Rizal, you are headlining this amazing woman. You're so raw. Please give me all the energy that you would give a sorority sister when they completely cross over the sands of time. Thank you very much.
Yes, so I want y'all to give a proud welcome in the chat to my soror, to Cara Davis. You know, it's nothing like a Delta woman. We are we just leave y'all speechless. Let me tell y'all, because we are serving leaders, we are dedicated to public service, and look, we be out here doing it. You know, we've been doing this since 1913, and here it is. We are taking it on, taking the world by storm with this intellectual property arena. So, y'all give my soror a big, big, big welcome.
I love it. Well, I'm going to let y'all see the CLE code. I'm going to put up the excitement about it, but the price is the price. Great advice. Rosalia is so helpful, but you are the headliner. She didn't even know, Takora, until today that she was your headliner. She literally was just trying to get the things out there, trying to get a presentation together. And I was like, yeah, by the way, you're the headliner. You're like, I'm the what? So I'm just letting you know, she literally had no idea until today, literally prepared today before you came on. So I am literally so excited, so proud. And get ready for y'all favorite bop, because it's time for the CLE. So take us off the screen so we can hear this bop again for your CLE presentation code, please and thank you.